clues as to how to kind of stop him, but he's great outside the tackles, inside the tackles. I want to point out there's 1,230 yards. Only Dalvin Cook has more total rushing yards. So, Coach, how would you plan on stopping if you were the Ravens?
You know, this is ridiculous because outside the tackles, usually that's reserved for the fast guys, right? Speed guys. And he's a downhill runner? No, this big dude at 250 is also fast. But you remember he had 195 yards against the Ravens and knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So what did they do? They went out and got a couple more players, right? Calais Campbell, Pro Bowler, and Yannick Ngakoue, a couple of stout guys in there, so they're much better on defense. And they did that so they can stop that guy, and we'll see if that works today.
All right, great. Rich?
Thanks very much. You two guys.
Ian?
Well, Stacey, it's amazing to think the Saints have achieved a 2 seed and done everything they've done this season while barely being full strength basically the entire year. They are at full strength right now. You mentioned Alvin Kamara, who went on the COVID-19 reserve list on January 1st, is officially going to be cleared this morning. Now, he has been working out on his own, getting ready, make sure he is up to speed. He has been streaming practice, trying to participate virtually as much as he possibly could. He kind of told us earlier in the week that this would happen, that he'd play, saying, see y'all Sunday. I'm told today is Sunday, so we will see him. Meanwhile, Michael Thomas, the star receiver, Rich, for these Saints, has barely been healthy all year. A hamstring injury, 2 ankle injuries, officially off injury reserve. He is going to play today, and I'm told look good this week.
Okay, so looks like the Saints are going to be full strength right there. And as always, we ask you to post you getting ready for your game day using the hashtag of Lowe's Home Cam. And Bills Mafia in this particular photograph still celebrating yesterday's big playoff wild card weekend opening victory for the Buffalo Bills. This season, the Lowe's home team has been bringing 32 players from every team across the league together to support community-building projects that highlight the cultural fabric of their respective communities. The Ravens' Lamar Jackson is partnering with Lowe's and the United Way of Central Maryland, for instance, to create a playground and indoor mural for a local family center. Lamar is personally participating in the mural design for the center by contributing his own original artwork that you saw there. And that's going to be incorporated in the final mural. The Family Center has received several additional updates and plans to open this coming spring. Lamar's home team project, part of a larger $2 million commitment from Lowe's to revitalize neighborhoods in southwest Baltimore. Good on all of those great folks there in Baltimore. And, of course, with Lowe's. So, how's Baker going to fare without Kevin Stefanski in his ear dialing it up? That's how we kick off our second segment of our second day of Wild Card Weekend on NFL Game Day Morning. There,
NFL Game.
Kurt, this is the topic that's been dominating the game from the Browns' perspective all week long. The fact that Kevin Stefanski, who's COVID positive, and we hope is convalescing well, will not be there tonight, and it's going to be Alex Van Pelt calling the plays and in Baker Mayfield's ear. What do you think the significance of this is?
Rich, the significance is huge because so much a part of play caller quarterback is being able to see the game the same way, developing some type of rapport where you understand when a play caller calls a particular play, what they're thinking on that play, designing plays that are designed the way we both see the game. And that doesn't mean Alex Van Pelt cannot do that for Baker Mayfield. But you build up that rapport, and Baker, down the stretch was playing some of his best football of his entire career. So I worry about this because we all have tendencies, no matter who we are, to go, oh, if I'm a play caller, I'm going to lean towards the pass first. This is a team that is a run-first team, needs to live off of play action specifically today. So something to see if that bears out is you got to find that balance. Can they find it this quickly?
Then, of course, the question for the Steelers is how to evaluate them after starting 11-0 and then losing 3 straight, a losing streak that almost stretched to 4, if not for a huge second half against Indianapolis. And they eventually won that one, leading into a Week 17 game where they rested Big Ben and T.J. Watt and Pouncey. So the question is what type of Steelers team will we see tonight? And Steve Mariucci, maybe they'll be more rested.
Yeah, they're going to be more rested. Irvin, and how will that rest impact Big Ben and these Steelers?
Coach, I thought watching Big Ben late in the season that Big Ben needed a rest more than anybody. When you think about all that this team has gone through, I mean, really had a bye like October 4th. That's almost 3 months ago.
Week 3.
Right. Week 3, Coach. That's so far away. And then to go through all you went through mentally. Just you're playing, no, you're not playing, all of that, and he's coming off this injury. And I see this, when I see this on the sideline, I was like, okay, this is the best thing for him. 5 of the 6 last games he had thrown interceptions. He needed that rest, and I think he'll come out sharp.
Sometimes we forget he had a couple of ligaments in his throwing arm repaired before the season. He wasn't the only one that rested. T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, Pouncey, so their captains didn't even make the trip. They rested, and I think you're right. They needed that bye, that rest.
Points, and we just tied this football game. Heading to overtime, 3rd and goal. Lob it to the back of the end zone. Touchdown.
Wow, what a way to end your season. And now another wild card visitor from the NFC North. It's the Bears in the Superdome today. Stacey Dales, take it away.
That's right, Rich. Hey, with this game, head coach Sean Payton and quarterback Drew Brees sit at 7th all time in terms of head coach quarterback combinations in the playoffs. Through 15 previous games, they have an 8-7 record. Well, guess what? I asked defensive coordinator Chuck Pagano with the Bears, what is it like facing this dual monster in terms of, how you approach them defensively, given their offensive prowess? And he said it's an absolute nightmare. They've seen them all earlier this year, of course. But in terms of some of the things specifically, the chemistry, that experience he alluded to, and then down and distance, situational football, and personnel groupings, he told me no team shows more offensive personnel groupings than the New Orleans Saints. But I love this quote the most. Pagano said, I don't know how many hobbies Sean has. I wish more so that he can stop trying to ruin the lives of defensive coordinators and defensive coaches everywhere. Michael Irvin, I pass it to you for more on this game.
I love that. Kurt, I love that. That's great stuff right there, buddy.
And it's true. I mean, it just seems like that's all they do. They are all about football down there. And, Michael, when you look at the slate of games for this weekend, I think everybody looks at this game between the Saints and the Bears and say, oh, this is the one that's going to be lopsided, right? This is the one that on paper doesn't seem to stack up. But as Stacey mentioned, they played earlier in the year, and the Bears jumped out ahead. The Saints had to come back. They win on a late field goal in that game. So my question for you, with all the things that the Saints do, can this Bears defense slow them down once again today?
And Kurt, listen, the Bear defense can play. They play. But getting back Kamara and Michael Thomas today for the Saints, I think this is huge, man. And Stacey talked about it. This gives them all of the physical skill set, all of that talent and ability in these two guys, and then the master himself running it in Drew Brees. It makes it difficult, very difficult. I know we're talking about Kamara being away. Speed doesn't go anywhere in a couple of days' time, so he'll be fine when he hits the field today.